welcome to Clavy News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines.
Police naps 2 suspects, recover 1 Beretta pistol, 2 live ammunition at a checkpoint in Anambra State. Provide evidence or shut up. Retired Army General react to Shumole's allegations on illegal mining. Northern Coalition reaffirms commitment to peace over a land dispute in Imo State.
I am Imefon with this and more. The 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, also referred to as AFCON 2025 or CAN 2025, is scheduled to be the 31st edition of the biennial African Football Tournament organized by the Confederation of African Football, CAF. It will be hosted by Morocco for the second time and the first since 1988. Morocco was originally scheduled to host the 2015 edition, but withdrew due to fears stemming from the Western African Ebola virus epidemic. We have a report.
Confederation of African Football CAF has ignited Africa's highest soccer fiesta with final draws as the continental dream to gain higher football momentum was ignited Monday night in Rabat, Morocco, when the final draws of the 35th African Cup of Nations for men's football was made. A total of 24 nations will battle for honors from 21st December 2025 to 21st January 2026 in the highest soccer fiesta in Africa. Qualifications to get to the stage started from 20th March and ended 19th November with 52 teams participating, playing 151 matches and scoring 331 goals, with Real Madrid's attacking midfielder Brahim Diaz emerging highest goal scorer at the qualifiers with 7 goals. North African country Morocco is hosting the tournament for the second time with 9 beautiful venues across 6 cities. The trophy that will be contested for was ushered in by the man who scored Morocco's winning goal at the first edition of the game some 49 years ago with a hilarious nickname, Baba. AFCON has so developed that our tournament was watched by a whopping 1.4 billion viewers at the last tournament. Africa also had Morocco emerge the first African country to play at the World Cup semi-final in Qatar. All right, moving forward. The Super Eagles of Nigeria will battle for a quest to win her 4th male football title in Africa from Group C, as indicated in the final group draws made in Rabat, Morocco on Monday night. The 3 times African champions that has been holding the African Best Male Footballer Award for 2 years back-to-back will face old rivals Carthage Eagles of Tunisia, the Ugandan Cranes, and the Taifa Stars of Tanzania that was formerly coached by Nigeria's Emmanuel Amunike at the group stages in Morocco 2025. The Super Eagles will play all her group matches at the First Stadium. First on 23rd December 2025 against Tanzania, when that day Tunisia will trade tackles with Uganda at Rabat. On 27th December, Nigeria will play a vital game against Tunisia at the same Fez Stadium, when Uganda will face Tanzania at Rabat. The last Group C matches will be played simultaneously between Uganda and Nigeria at Fez and Tanzania versus Tunisia at Rabat. Nigeria appears to be the superpower of Group C, with 21 appearances and 3 wins in 1980, 1991, and 2013, while qualifying for this tournament as Group D winners. Tunisia won the title in 2004 and making the highest appearance of 22, the Carthage Eagles came as Group A runners-up in the qualifiers. The Ugandan Cranes never won the title in their 8 appearances now, but were AFCON runners-up title holder of 1978. The Taifa Stars of Tanzania, appearing for the 4th time, always lost at the group stages in 1980, 2019, and 2023. Nigeria has not gotten a killer victory against any opponent in this Group C. Nigeria played 1-1 with Tunisia at the AFCON match of 13 February 2004, played another 1-1 draw in another AFCON match of 24th March 2006, and lost by a lone goal to same Tunisia at a World Cup match played on 20th April 2009. Against Uganda, Nigeria won by a lone goal in an AFCON match on 24th March 2007. The same year, on 2nd June, Uganda defeated Nigeria 2-1 in another AFCON match and also ran away with a lone goal victory over Nigeria in a friendly match of 25th March 2015. Nigeria had played Tanzania once on 5th September 2015 in an AFCON match which ended goalless. Nigeria, runners-up at the last tournament, will have to brace up with her stars to win Group C. The 35th African Nations Cup, AFCON, runs from 21st December 2025 to 21st January 2026 in Morocco. Ivory Coast are defending champions of the tournament that will feature 24 top African teams, except the Black Stars of Ghana that was deemed at the qualifiers. Now, talking about the draws, hosts of the 35th edition of the Male African Cup of Nations, AFCON, the Atlas Lions of Morocco, is to open the competition on 21st December against Comoros that are coming to the party for the second time at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat, where the host will play all her Group A matches. According to the draws made on Monday night in Rabat, on 22nd December, Eagles of Mali will face Zambia. Group A second round matches will be played on 26th December when Morocco will face Mali and Zambia will handle Comoros, but the last group matches will be played on the 29th when Zambia takes on Morocco and Comoros will try to wound Mali. Egypt in Group B will be tough with South Africa, Angola and Zimbabwe, as Mohamed Salah will lead Egypt against Zimbabwe at the Adra Stadium, Agadir, on 22nd December, the day South Africa will face fellow Angolans. Second round Group B games will be on 26th December when the testy encounter between Egypt and South Africa will take place, and Angola will same day play Zimbabwe. Last group games will be on 26th December when Angola will try Egypt for size and Zimbabwe will try to overcome South Africa. Nigeria opens a Group C campaign against Tanzania on 23rd December at first same day. Tunisia will play Uganda at Rabat. Second Group C matches are on 27th December when Nigeria plays a crucial match against Tunisia and Uganda engage Tanzania, while the last group games are on 30th December when Uganda will face Nigeria and Tunisia will tackle Tanzania in a match already tagged Tuntan. Former champions Teranga Lions of Senegal will on 23rd December in Group D open her campaign against Botswana at the Ibn Battuta Stadium. Tangier same day, DR Congo will play Benin Republic at the Al Barid Stadium, Rabat. Second round Group D games will take place on 27th December between Senegal and DR Congo and Benin versus Botswana, while last Group D matches will be played on 30th December between Benin Republic and Senegal, as well as Botswana versus DR Congo. Algeria in Group E will open the group against Sudan at Mole Stadium in Rabat on 24th December, while Stallions of Burkina Faso will play Guinea. Algeria will face Burkina Faso in the second round, while Equatorial Guinea will face Sudan, and the last group matches will be Equatorial Guinea versus Algeria and Sudan versus Burkina Faso at Casablanca on 31st December. Defending champions Ivory Coast will open her defense against Mozambique at Marrakesh on 24th December in Group F, when the indomitable Lions of Cameroon will roar against Gabon. Second round matches of Group F will see top group match between Ivory Coast and Cameroon on 20th December at Marrakesh, before fans will watch Gabon versus Mozambique at Agadir. Final group games are on New Year's Eve and will be Gabon against Ivory Coast and Mozambique against Cameroon. Well, great thanks to our indefatigable Eniola Olatunji for putting together this wonderful report.
A retired military officer, Major General Bamidele Oluwumi, has strongly criticized Senator Adams Oshomole for his recent allegations that retired military generals are involved in illegal mining activities in Nigeria. In a statement released on Tuesday, Oluwumi, a former NYSC Director General, described Oshomele's remarks as reckless, baseless, and offensive, accusing the senator of unfairly maligning the reputation of retired generals who have served Nigeria with honor. Oluwumi therefore called on Oshomole to provide concrete evidence to back his claims or withdraw the allegations altogether. The retired general further demanded a public apology, asserting that Oshomole's remarks had tarnished the honor and integrity of retired military officers. He also cautioned that such statements could undermine public trust in retired officers and distract from the nation's effort to tackle illegal mining. Cleveland News Desk had earlier quoted Senator Oshomole as accusing retired Nigerian Army generals as being responsible for illegal mining activities in the country.
Those involved in this illegal mining, they use choppers. They procure arms exactly the same way as our military were doing in the South. They give them arms. They use choppers to come and cut away the gold. And they take them out of this country and make billions of US dollars. And the federal government is not doing what it should be doing. I took this letter to the former president when I was national chairman of APC. And I said, call the general to give you more brief. In fact, what is happening or what subsequently happened in that part of the country was exactly what the general told me was going to happen. Because these guys have been weaponized by the illegal big men who deploy them, secure territories, and the weapon is meant to protect the Chinese and other foreigners who they actually employ to carry out the mining. And on occasion, they use the same weapon to carry out banditry, kidnapping, and all of the terrible things that are going on. Chief of Committee Chairman of Defense Staff, tell the defense I said so. That with some retired military officers, army officers are involved in it. The day we can't tell the truth, this country cannot flourish. We can't change our, when it affects our people, we are at our best. We talk strong. Some other people appear to be above the law. That is what is going on with solid mineral. It is not that we don't know where it is. We have a whole survey of where we have what across the length and breadth of Nigeria. We also know, everybody complaining about certain people from certain nationalities. How they got here, even as we are talking now, they are doing those illegal mining. And those guys are getting richer when Nigeria State is getting poorer. But we carry the consequences of banditry, kidnapping, and other things, which these on illegal armed men, which they equip. Sir, who can afford to buy a chopper to land in an illegal mining site, cut away gold, return to Sediti, and then on the way to airport, bam, take them out of the country? This is happening. So I agree with you, but my position is that we shouldn't, as senators, be lamenting. As senators, we should fix the problem. We should tell the executive, you must deploy exactly the same force that you deploy against illegal oil bunkering. That same force should be deployed to deal with criminals who are money. When I say criminal, it can be a retired general, it can be a retired permanent secretary, it can be a retired trade unionist or a retired labor leader. Whoever is involved, they should be dealt with. Let Nigeria see that we are not condoning this. We are not lamenting what is going on.
Meanwhile, stakeholders have stressed the need for Nigeria to have a strong and thriving democracy to guarantee a revolutionized political system as well as quality leadership in the interest of national development. Speaking at a two-day national conference on Strengthening Democracy in Nigeria, organized by the African Center for Leadership Strategy and Development. Vice President Kashim Shettima assured Nigerians that the current administration will continue to provide the values of the democratic systems by fixing major weaknesses of the economy, securing communities, fighting corruption, strengthening the independence of the judiciary, and improving national cohesion. Clevis Gloria Atta has the details.
Seated in this hall are major stakeholders in Nigeria's polity drawn from various departments and agencies of government, political parties, civil society organizations, and non-governmental organizations. They have converged on Abuja for a 2-day national conference to brainstorm and share ideas on the challenges confronting Nigeria's democracy, as well as map out strategies to navigate these challenges, instigate change, and set forth a pathway that leads to sustainable growth and prosperity, as well as strengthen governance and restore public trust in the democratic process. Speaking at the event with the theme, Strengthening Nigeria's Democracy, Pathways to Good Governance and Political Integrity, Nigeria's Vice President, Kashim Shettima, represented by his Special Advisor on Political Issues, Hakim Baba Ahmed, noted that while democracy is not a perfect system, it is still considered the best form of government compared to others, and therefore assured citizens of the current administration's commitment to strengthen the nation's democratic systems.
I would like to assure Nigerians that our administration is acutely aware of many concerns about our direction and goals, particularly given the difficulties which some of our policies inevitably generate. We are involved in correcting many defects in our economy and approaches to securing the citizen. We have been honest to admit that this transition from a broken past to a promising future will not be without a price, and we remain focused on easing the pain and ensuring that we will not take our eyes off our goals. We listen and adjust where necessary for our stewardship in all manners our challenging democratic systems demands. Your Excellencies, I am convinced that we will reap the benefits of our current unavoidable difficulties. I am convinced that Nigeria shall rise again, answer to its full potential, and lead the way to a future that would have learned lessons from a difficult past into a world in which our country will be a key player, and our young will be active champions of a democratic system because it speaks for them.
Earlier in his remarks, the founding executive founder of the African Center for Leadership, Strategy and Development, Dr. Otive Igbuzo, said the conference is aimed at reigniting hope, rebuilding trust, and laying a roadmap towards a democratic Nigeria with integrity.
Political parties are the bedrock of any democracy. Yet in Nigeria, they often fall short of the ideals of transparency, accountability, and responsiveness. The focus of this conference includes fostering the development of political parties that are truly representative, open to internal democracy, and accountable to the people. By addressing these issues, we envision political parties that champion the voice and needs of Nigerians, providing viable choices for leadership and governance. This conference serves as a platform for building sustainable partnerships and strategies for democratic renewal. Nigeria's democracy will only flourish when backed by a collaborative approach that brings together government institutions, civil society, media, and citizens.
In his keynote address, Former Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, stressed the need to improve the quality of institutions capable of guaranteeing rights as a determinant for a flourishing democracy.
One of the most important determinants of a flourishing democracy is the quality of institutions. Institutions capable of guaranteeing rights, including property rights, and checking the wanton abuse of power. These institutions include the independent election management bodies, the judiciary, the ombudsman, the police, the other law enforcement agencies, and many others. Across the world, we have seen young people stand up to dictatorial or non-functional governance architectures, bringing in ugly outcomes in certain cases. These have often happened because young people are considered the next generation and have a bounden duty to ensure that the actions we take today do not jeopardize their future.
The spirit of this conference, as Otibe has explained, is for all of us that are committed to democracy and its values, to rally around, to defend it. And it is this linkage between democracy and the public good that is the core reason why it must be supported, it must be defended.
The event featured paper presentations and goodwill messages from relevant stakeholders. Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview News.
If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. We'll be back after this break. Stay with us.
No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under a bushel. This is therefore a call to individuals, organizations, embassies, political office holders, and more to inform the world about their activities and achievements through documentaries. Here at Clearview, we parade the masters in the business of producing world-class documentaries. Show your stuff to the world by first contacting us through telephone number 0704 244 1177 or email us at clearviewnewsroom@gmail.com. Watch Clearview News at 7 p.m. daily, Monday to Friday on MITV, channel 255, DSTV, and on our YouTube and Facebook pages. Clearview News Desk. We clear the view, one time and for all time.
Welcome back. The 1917 Northern Consensus Movement has announced the peaceful resolution of a land dispute in Amma Hausa, Owerri, Imo State, involving the Hausa community and their traditional leader, the Sarki Hausawa of Owerri, Hawalu Baba Suleiman. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja on Monday, the national president of the 1917 Northern Consensus Movement, Hawal Abdullahi Aliyu, said the dispute, which began in July 2024, revolved around a piece of land in Amma Hausa, Owerri, traditionally used as a hub of Bureau de Change operations by the Hausa community. Members of the community had accused the Sarki Hausawa of attempting to claim the property for personal use.
There was a communal dispute and communal clash between the Hausa community in Amma Hausa in Owerri, Imo State, and of course the traditional ruler there, whose name I have mentioned earlier, who tried to claim that land, saying it belongs to, or it is an inherited property from grandfather to father, and of course to himself, being the traditional ruler. But after on doing that, that tried to create a very serious disharmony, disrespect, rancor, and of course breach of peace, which would have caused a lot of damages to properties and possibly lives. On receiving the report, as written by the Arewa United for Peace in Owerri State, that is an organization that brought together all Hausa community in Owerri, Imo State, or to be in Imo State to be precise, or receiving a complaint, a written complaint, what we did was to swiftly report the matter to the Inspector General of Police, who in turn directed the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of investigation to wade into the matter, investigate, find a solution, and of course report back to the IGP, and also find a way of finding a lasting and amicable resolution to the challenges. On receiving the petition or the directives from the IGP, the DIG in charge of Bureau of Investigation swift into action, set up a committee of investigators, went to Owerri, Imo State, did several times, did investigation, reached out with all stakeholders, and of course, several meetings were held, I think 5, 6, or 7 different meetings were held in the office of the DIG between the complainants and the accused to find a lasting solution. At the end of their investigation, the resolution is what I have read already, and it was agreed that that land belongs to the community, not individual. It was specifically allocated for Bureau de Change business, which has been going on since time immemorial and still going on. So nobody has the right or liberty to convert that place into either personal or change it from what it is to something else without the consent and agreement of the entire Hausa community in Imo State. So it was advised that status quo must be maintained, that that place belonged to the Bureau de Change business hub, and it shall continue to be as such. And after the whole thing, all parties were involved during the reading of the investigation, recommendation, and the resolution. Our responsibility as 1917 Northern Consensus Movement is to ensure that peace, unity, love, understanding, and cooperation prevail and is sustained in the entire 17 southern states, between the Hausa community resident in the 17 southern states and the host communities. That we've been doing, that we will continue to do, and that is what we have equally just achieved by finding an amicable and law, ensuring that the law prevail in whatever that is happening between the communities.
The group, comprising a coalition of 596 registered grassroots community-based socio-cultural and economic associations, spans across the 19 northern states. The Anambra State Police Command has reportedly arrested 2 suspects at a security checkpoint and recovered 1 Beretta pistol, 2 live ammunition, and a Toyota Corolla car. In a statement on Monday, the spokesman for the command, SP Tochukwu Ikenga, said operatives of the Special Anti-Cult Squad from Enugu-Ukwo carried out the arrest. Ikenga said 4 occupants were in the vehicle when they were ordered to stop for a search. While 2 alighted and ran away, 2 others were apprehended. And that's the news, but before we go, a recap of the top stories.
Anambra State Police Command has reportedly arrested 2 suspects at a security checkpoint and recovered 1 Beretta pistol, 2 live ammunition, and a Toyota Corolla car. A retired military officer, Major General Bamidele Oluwumi, has strongly criticized Senator Adams Oshomole for his recent allegations that retired military generals are involved in illegal mining activities in Nigeria. We also told you that the 1917 Northern Consensus Movement has announced the peaceful resolution of a land dispute in Amma Hausa, Owerri, Imo State.
You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at @ClearViewNews X, or via handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at ClearView Online. Many thanks for watching. I am Imifono Kon.